What's going on? It's Fist, bringing it straight from my heart for me to you because that's what I do. Welcome to part 2 from the discussion of the last Fisticuffs video. And we're talking about where I left off about the X Games and Call of Duty and this whole vision of David Vonderhaar and his, cronies. I mean, they stroked his ego is what they did. Stroked his egos for his friendship. Stroked his ego and gave him the vision of where this game supposedly is going to go. But it can't go anywhere further than what it did. It can't go any further than what it did. And I don't think Call of Duty has long enough legs to even reach that vision that they think they're going to. You're looking at 2.2 million concurrent viewers on Black Ops 1 when David Vonderhaar was listening to the YouTube community or people like myself and others, taking this X Games route. And I'm not hating on it. I know a lot of people are, oh, you're just hating, Fist. But it's just, I'm being realistic here. How many people from the X Games who are going to watch pre-recorded winner gameplay only are going to go out and buy Call of Duty? How many Call of Duty games do you think are going to be sold? No, Fist, it's just because Call of Duty Ghosts is terrible to watch. Man, that's all in your mind. Call of Duty is Call of Duty. Military first-person shooter. Not modern. Doesn't matter what year it is. It's a military first-person shooter. So, coming back from what I was saying at Fisticuffs, them selling them the dream and taking Von all the way to the end of that road, and look where it's led you. Yeah, you got on X Games. Yeah, you get free advertising. It's esports. But look who is benefiting from this. Look who's benefited the most out of anybody out of all of this. Fwiz. Fwiz is the benefactor of this. He went from employee at Machinima, talking it, got into Von's ear. Him and Hastro pushed this whole esports thing, and now Fwiz is VP of MLG Gaming. And MLG Gaming is riding, or MLG Sports or whatever, is riding on the back of this game. And Activision has suffered the most. So anyways, I mean, that's the way I look at it. And I thought Call of Duty, I still believe the philosophy of the game is a great idea. And I truly believe that Glenn Schofield and Michael Condrey have their own vision. Definitely Glenn Schofield is the most headstrong, visionary person in the Call of Duty franchise. He's not going to be mind fucked by anybody. I tell you that right now. I'd say David Vonderhaar got mind fucked by Fwiz, and he got mind fucked by Grizz, Hutch, Hex, and the rest of the people who were at the Machinima party who changed it into their favor. And like I said, they did it for their own benefit, And it's the truth. And I'm not hating on these guys. But if you want to know how and why this game changed, it's because of that. Because of that platform. And to say esports is, Call of Duty, it's an aspect of Call of Duty. And and to ignore the people who are paying all the bills, esports itself, no matter if it's on ESPN for 10 years, that's how long it would take. And by then, Call of Duty, Activision, and this franchise does not have the legs to make it that far. And especially with the hyper-competitive market that's out there for first-person shooters. To ignore the community in a whole is a huge mistake. And for it to play out over 10, 15 years and to finally say, yo, Fisticuffs, you're right, I feel sorry for those guys. I feel sorry especially for Von. So, anyways, I don't want to dwell on that too much. That's the story of Call of Duty. Anybody tells you different, look at how they're benefiting from it. They're a liar, and I'll tell it to their face. So, anyways, Now, the prediction of Treyarch's game, I mean, I told you I was going to do predicting video games. I didn't say I was going to cover the esports and the history of all that. That's just an added commentary into these two videos. You got to hear a little bit of insight into that. Some of the things I've been wanting to say for a long time that I haven't been able to say, now I've said it. So, Treyarch's game. Treyarch's game, a lot of people are saying to me, Fish, you don't know what you're talking about. It's pretty obvious what's going to happen. If you didn't listen to the Michael Condrey, Glenn Schofield, unsubconsciously, Michael Condrey slipped out what is going to be Black Ops 3, World at War 2, whatever way I pretty much predicted it before that, but I kind of know now exactly what the storyline is going to be based on what Michael Condrey had said. That the Treyarch game is going to, I said that they had to go back and make it look old school, the World War II, but a lot of people are not going to accept a World War II game. Just not going to happen in this day and age. So how is David Vonderhaar have this game look like a World War II game, but be set in the future? With Michael Condrey said two things in his interview with Glenn Schofield and in Game Informer. He said there's two singularities that a game can take. Either you could be in the future and be one with the machine, animated, it has to be believable, blah, blah, blah. That's why you see the exoskeleton suits. Or you have to be, it had to be a game where they have a war and you're sent back into the future because the war has made everybody, well, he told you the keys of Call of Duty is keeping it closest to reality as possible without going. He's told you the mission statement of Call of Duty, and that was to make Call of Duty the closest to reality game without making a sci-fi game. And with that being said, he gave you two options of what Call of Duty and who he was talking to. He was talking to the Treyarch studio. He gave him two options: either you can go in the future, or you can have a World War III, and you're sent back into an apocalypse. Now, if you're a Call of Duty enthusiast like myself and been following this franchise for as long as I've been following it, you pretty much know. I mean, basic A, B equals C, blah blah blah. A plus B equals C. This is how you predict gaming. If you follow a specific franchise in detail, then based on that information, you know that what Treyarch and Von are going to do is it's going to look like it's World War II and a post-apocalyptic, because what weapons will be left in a post-apocalyptic future? It's basically going to look like, and this is my crazy and kooky thing that I could say Von would do. Because I follow Von, so I know what he does. He plays Assassin's Creed, and the fact is that he might do something as crazy because it's apocalyptic war that they might even go and find like the worst weapons in the grittiest time frame. So when I say World War II or a World War I or whatever, that's because it's World War III. It's blowing everything up and there's nothing left. And that's based off Michael Condrey, who said that's what they were talking about in a meeting with Treyarch. So that's what the game's going to be. And the fact that it's going to be the opposite of a futuristic game. So based on all that knowledge, I'm guaranteeing you that's what you're going to see. Now, the last thing I want to cover, and I said I was going to cover, and I should have covered more of it, was Battlefield Hardline. Battlefield Hardline information was leaked. This game was supposed to be made 2 years ago, but somehow Visceral and all those guys and DICE, and they got their dirty hands on it. And the game, if you've seen the multiplayer trailer, it looks terrible. First of all, I was reading articles on Kotaku, and people were hammering it. Let me tell you something. When you leak multiplayer gameplay of the next Battlefield franchise, and it's not Battlefield, and it's not trending, you're in trouble. Your franchise, that you've officially killed that name, Battlefield. Do you understand the gravity of that? I don't think they understand that at EA. You don't slap a Battlefield name on something and you drop a leaked gameplay of multiplayer and it's not even trending on Twitter. That's a huge, huge problem. Anyways, I don't think people are feeling Call of Duty, and they're not feeling Battlefield. There's a huge discrepancy there. They need to get together really quick. I would like to elaborate on this more, but if you guys want me to talk more about Battlefield Hardline, let me know in the comments. But that's my gist on it. You don't leak a video and then it's not trending and you have everybody talking bad about it. I said this before. It's ridiculous what they're doing. Anyways, get the fuck out of here.